Hey there, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Look, today we've got a really special goal. We are going to completely demystify computers and the internet. If you've ever felt like technology is just this totally foreign language, or that everyone else somehow got a secret instruction manual that you missed, you are exactly in the right place. We're going to break everything down using a simple step-by-step approach. No rushing, no confusing terminology without explanations, just a gentle visual guide to getting you super comfortable with the digital world.
Right off the bat, I want to share a quote that really hits the nail on the head. If you think you're too old or too stupid to use it, you're not alone. That is actually straight from the BBC's own beginner materials, and it is so true. Millions of people feel this exact same way. It is completely normal to feel a bit anxious when facing a new piece of technology, but I promise you, it is so much easier than you think. You already have the life experience and the common sense. All you need now are a few basic tools, and that's exactly what we're going to build together today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. Welcome to the computer, mastering the mouse, navigating the desktop, using the keyboard, exploring the internet, and finally, a tech jargon buster. Let's get started.
Welcome to the computer. We are starting at the absolute very beginning here, right in the physical world.
So, before anything else, we gotta wake the machine up, right? Whether you're sitting in front of a larger desktop computer, the kind that stays permanently on a desk, or a portable laptop, the very first physical step is exactly the same. You just need to press the power button to switch it on. It usually looks a lot like what you see here, a little circle with a line through the top. Just give that a firm press, and the computer is gonna start humming to life.
Moving right along to part 2, mastering the mouse.
And this brilliantly illustrates the best way to handle your primary tool. To hold the mouse properly, just rest it flat on a surface, usually right next to your keyboard. You'll want the end with the buttons pointing directly toward the computer screen. Now just gently rest your hand right over the top of it. Picture your index finger lightly resting on the left button and your thumb resting softly on the side. This nice, relaxed grip gives you the perfect control to just glide the mouse around your desk.
Now, as you're gliding that mouse around, you'll see a little pointer, we call it a cursor, moving on your screen. So when you want to actually choose something, here is the exact physical sequence. First, you move your mouse so the cursor hovers directly over the item. Second, you press down or click just once with that index finger on the left button. And third, you immediately let go. Move, click, let go. It's just a quick, light tap, honestly. It's a lot like pressing a doorbell.
Okay, part 3, navigating the desktop. The machine is on, we're holding the mouse, so let's look closely at the screen.
When the computer finishes waking up, it gives you a main screen. We call this the desktop. Think of it literally just like the physical top of a wooden desk where you do your work. On this digital desktop, you're going to find a few key things. You'll see icons, which are basically little pictures representing your files and programs. At the very bottom of the screen, there's usually a long band called the taskbar, and sitting right on that taskbar is the super important Start button.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing exactly how these elements look in practice. Out in the large workspace area, you've got your scattered icons. Some look like little yellow manila folders, others kind of look like pieces of paper. Those represent your actual documents and photos. And down over on the bottom left, clicking that Start button opens up a menu. It's basically a handy list of your programs, like the internet and email, just ready and waiting for you to select them.
Next up, part 4, using the keyboard. This is our other main physical tool.
So this is how we put information, like words and numbers, into the computer. Now, you might notice straight away that the letters are not in alphabetical order. Please don't worry, you aren't looking at a broken keyboard. This is called the QWERTY layout. It's named after those first 6 letters on the top left row. It is the absolute standard for everyone, everywhere. It takes a little getting used to, sure, but your fingers will totally learn where the keys are over time.
Let's break down the different areas here. When you're ready to type, you're going to see a flashing vertical line on your screen. That is the cursor, and it is incredibly helpful because it tells you exactly where your letters will appear. You've got the main letter keys for your words, a row of number keys across the top, and various symbol keys. Oh, and if you need a capital letter? Actually, it's super simple. You just hold down the key labeled Shift while you press your letter. Easy.
Moving right along to part 5, exploring the internet. Let's move to this and see how everything builds together.
You hear the word internet all the time, right? But what actually is it? Simply put, the internet is a worldwide network of computers, all connected to each other by telephone lines, cables, and satellites. But honestly, the absolute best way to think about it is like a huge, virtually endless library of information. And just like a real-world library, you can walk in, browse around, and find almost anything you could possibly want to know.
So, why make the effort to go into this digital library? Well, the practical benefits are just incredible. You can read the daily news, do your shopping, and easily pay your bills without ever leaving the house. You can send emails, which by the way are just electronic letters delivered instantly. You can even catch up on television shows, and maybe most importantly, stay in touch with family and friends across the globe. Now, just like in the real world, you take simple precautions to stay safe, like keeping your personal details private, but you absolutely shouldn't let fear stop you from enjoying all these amazing benefits.
Finally, Part 6, Tech Jargon Buster. Let's clear up some of that confusing language.
Let's look at the word broadband. People throw this word around constantly. All it really means is a permanent, high-speed internet connection. Back in the old days, computers had to slowly dial a phone number to connect. Broadband simply means your connection is incredibly fast, and it is always on, just ready whenever you need it.
Next up is browser. A browser is nothing more than a program you open on your computer to view web pages. Think of it as the digital glass window you look through to see the internet. Programs like Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox, they're really just different brands of windows you can use to browse websites.
Now, understanding the word download is absolutely crucial. When you're looking at that huge library of the internet, sometimes you want to keep a copy of something for yourself, maybe a form or a family photo. So the crucial point is that downloading is just the simple act of taking a file from the outside world of the internet and moving it permanently onto your own personal computer for safekeeping.
And finally, password. A password is just a secret series of letters, numbers, and characters that you type in to prove your identity. Think of it as the digital key to your front door. It ensures that only you can enter your private accounts or read your personal emails, keeping your information completely safe and secure.
You know, you've absorbed a lot of wonderful information today, but the learning definitely doesn't have to stop here. There are fantastic, friendly, and completely jargon-free places designed exactly for you to continue practicing. The BBC WebWise website has great games and video guides. Organizations like Age UK and the UK Online Centers run community projects with really straightforward training for beginners. There is so much wonderful support available to you. We've covered turning the machine on, resting your hand on the mouse, navigating the desktop, finding the letters on the keyboard, and stepping into the amazing library of the internet. You now have the foundational knowledge, you know the tools, and you know the terms. So I leave you with this final, exciting question as we wrap up today's explainer. Are you ready to take your first click? Your digital journey is waiting, and I promise you, you are absolutely ready for it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.